Hi everyone. Are you ready to do your speak out exercises? My name is Samantha Allenderry. I'm the founder and chief executive officer of Parkinson Voice Project. We are a nonprofit speech therapy clinic solely dedicated to helping people with Parkinson's improve their speech and their swallowing. I'm going to take you through the 6 speak out exercises, but first we need to take a sip of water. Let's go ahead and do that. As you bring the cup to your mouth, make sure that you are swallowing with intent. That means that you're thinking about it. Unfortunately, with Parkinson's, speaking and swallowing are never going to be automatic because automatic movements require dopamine. And by the time somebody has any symptoms of Parkinson's, they've already lost about 80% of their dopamine. So we need to be intentional. We need to activate the intentional motor system, which is not as dependent on dopamine as the automatic motor system. And so that's why our program works so well. All right, we're going to start with the first speak out exercise, and it is called the warm up. We need to warm up our voices. I want you to lift your voice and speak out. Here we go. May, me, my, mo, moo. Be deliberate and purposeful. Think about what you're doing. We are activating the intentional motor system. Let's do it again. May, me, my, mo, moo. Every sound with intent. Let's do it again. May, me, my, mo, moo. You notice that I took a breath in there. That's okay. Take a breath when you need to. Just keep the focus on projecting your voice forward. Let's do it again. May, me, my, mo, moo. Good. How are you doing? Let's do one more with intent. May, me, my, mo, moo. All right. We're done with the warm-up. Let's take a sip of water, pick up your glass with intent. Everything you need to do from now on is with intent. Be purposeful. When you use intent, things will be easier for you. So we've got to do that. The next exercise is the ah. I wanted to show you the mirror that I use. I bought this mirror on Amazon. They have different colors, so you don't have to get pink. But I like it. And with Parkinson's, there is a sensory deficit where sometimes something feels a certain way to you, but looks and sounds differently to other people. So often people with Parkinson's think they're opening their mouth wide enough, but because Parkinson's is characterized by smaller movements, they might not be opening their mouth as much as they think. So using a mirror could be very helpful. Open your mouth wide and speak out as you say ah. Ready? Ah. Feel like the ah is traveling over a crowd. Ready? Ah. another one. Don't let it trail off. You can cut it off shorter if you need to. Try to push yourself a little bit, but you always want the quality to be clear. So if it's starting to sound, if it doesn't sound good, then just cut it off shorter. Let's do another one. Let's do a 5-second ah with intent. Think about it. Good. One more. We've done the warm-ups and the ahs. We're going to take a sip of water with intent, and then we will move on to the glides. Let's take a sip of water. I know it seems very strange to have to think about swallowing, but when you think about it, you use more intent. You activate a different part of the brain that is not as dependent on dopamine, and that's why it works. Now, for the glide, I want you to project the ah out and then slowly glide up. Try to get all the little notes in there. Let me show you what I mean. Let's try that again. Get all the little notes. You want to get as many notes in there as you can. Ready? Stop. So you want to try to get as many notes in there as possible on the way up and on the way down. Let's do it again. Stop. Good. Let's do it again. Don't let it trail off. Use intent the whole time. Ready? Stop. Everybody should be using the best pitch for them. I do not want you really thinking about the pitch, but what is the sound that just naturally comes out, and then it's got to be clear. You're using a lot of effort. If my pitch is so different from yours, and when you're doing the glides with me, it just doesn't feel right. One little trick is you can turn down the volume. When I do the ahs and the glides, you can still watch me, so you follow along, but you're using the best pitch for you. Let's take a sip of water and we'll move on to the counting. For the counting exercise, we are re-coordinating the breathing pattern. So we're working up the hierarchy. For the ahs and the glides, our mouth was wide open, so we weren't using the tongue and the lips. Now we're going to add words, but we're starting with counting because those are easier than reading from a book. So let's go ahead and do the counting. We're going to count to 20. I want you to lift your voice, project the numbers up and over an imaginary crowd. They need to make it all the way to the back of the room. Exaggerate. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't trail off. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Good job. Let's do it again. Let's be very deliberate. Every number with intent. Here we go. Up and over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Connect the numbers. You don't want to be doing 1, 2. You don't want one number on each breath. I really don't want you to think about the breath, but I want you to try to connect the numbers. You take a breath when you need to, but connect the numbers. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lots of intent. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20. Up and over. Say it. 20. Over the crowd. Do it again. 20. When you speak out, you're taking a deeper breath. You're fighting against Parkinson's, wanting to make everything smaller. You know, we think about smaller steps and smaller writing, but we don't think about in terms of talking, that if we take a smaller breath, if our vocal folds move in smaller movements, or if our tongue doesn't quite hit all the points in the mouth it's supposed to because the movements are smaller. We need to speak out. We need to use intent. At this point in the broadcast, take some water if you need it. But at this point, I answer questions, and somebody wrote in and asked if I would show you the pen again. This is a pen that a lot of my Loud Crowd members find helpful. It's called Pen Again. Pen Again. And you can find them on Amazon. And what's unique about this pen, I don't know if you can tell because it's all blue, but do you see this indentation in here? So the way you use this pen is you put your forefinger here, turn it on, and you write, and it stabilizes it more. And if you have a tremor, when you are purposefully and deliberately putting your forefinger holding on to it, then sometimes people say that the tremor is minimized. It kind of helps because we're holding on. It's the same kind of little trick that people might use if they have a tremor and they hold on to maybe to their pocket, or they hold on to the edge of a table. That's using intent. So pen again. So you might try those out and see if that will help you. All right, we're going to move on to the reading now. Today we're going to do some simple phrases, and then for the bonus reading, we're going to learn some more about the benefits of singing. But let's start with the phrases. Keep in mind, when you work on reading, you're projecting these phrases over a crowd. Here we go. Ready? Let's start with the first one. Hi there. Over the crowd again. Hi there. The next one. Good morning. Exaggerate. Good morning. Again, next one. How are you? Did the word you make it over the crowd? Exaggerate. Ready? How are you? Do it again. It's like you're reaching. Ready? How are you? Next one. Who is calling? Again. Who is calling? Reading exercise is not like regular talking. You are exaggerating. You're strengthening the muscles. Do the next one. Come over here. Up and over. Come over here. Do you see how I did that? Let me show you. Come over here. Up and over. Just like with the warm-up, we lift. May, me. And with the numbers, 1, 2. Same thing with the reading. Come over here. All right? Lift. Next one is what's wrong. Ready? What's wrong? Again. What's wrong? Next one. Let's go home. Exaggerate. Let's go home. Next one. I am feeling fine. Again. I am feeling fine. Next one. Get the phone. Up over the crowd. Again. Get the phone. Next. What is your name? Again. What is your name? Every word with intent. What is your name? Ready? What is your name? Next. Goodbye. Over the crowd. Goodbye. Next one. Good night. Again. Good night. Next. See you later. Up and over again. See you later. Next. I love you. Exaggerate. I love you. All right, take a sip of water. How are you feeling? This is more challenging than it looks. Many people describe Parkinson's Voice Project Speak Out exercises as deceivingly simple. They seem simple, but so much is going on here. Take a sip of water. In order to activate the speech and swallowing muscles, you've got to use a lot of intent. All right, let's do some more phrases. We're going to start with see you tomorrow. Ready? Up and over. See you tomorrow. Again. See you tomorrow. Next. It's time to go. Move that mouth. It's time to go. Next. How is the weather? Again. How is the weather? Next. I am working hard. Over the crowd. I am working hard. Next one. I am doing great. Next one. I am doing great. Next one. I'm speaking with intent. Again. I'm speaking with intent. Do it again. I'm speaking with intent. Very good. Take a sip of water with intent. All right. Now I am going to give you some phrases. We're moving on to our cognitive exercise. The cognitive is really conversation, and we actually debated about whether to call it cognitive or conversation. But what we're doing now is the other exercises were strengthening exercises. Now these exercises are about being able to organize your thoughts and speak out. Get the voice in front of you during conversation, and this is the voice you want to use with your spouse and all your family and friends and everyone you talk to. So we're going to do some simple exercises. I want you to fill in the blank. I will start, you finish it with intent. Here we go. Up and, yes and, cream and, stop and, bacon and, hot and, you and. Are you speaking with intent? Every time you say the word, is it with intent? Is the sound in front of you? Try. Let's keep going. Old and, first and, paper and, night and. Now we're going to make it a little bit more challenging. This is something you can do. Is I want you to give me 2 responses. So if I say up and, maybe you say down, then I'm going to say it again, up and I want you to come up with a different ending. So it might be up and down, up and away. All right? There's no right or wrong answer. You just come up with 2 different responses. Speak out. Ready? Here we go. Stop and, stop and. Next one. Cream and, cream and. Next one. Bacon and, bacon and. Next one. Hot and, hot and. Next one. Old and, old and. Next one. First and, first and. How did you do? As you were coming up with them, did you speak out? You must practice talking in conversation with intent. You've got to practice, practice, practice. It will never be automatic again. And please, everybody, make your spouse a trigger. I cannot stress this enough. I am a trigger for you. When you see me, you probably speak with more intent. Make your spouse the trigger. Every time you see your spouse, you speak with intent. All right, we're going to move on now to the, take a sip of water. We're going to do Dr. Boone's nonsense words. I want you to exaggerate the G's, the K's, and the NG's. Those sounds force the back of the tongue to go up higher, and that's very important in order to be able to swallow. We're going to do this, and then we'll do the bonus reading. Each nonsense word 3 times. Here we go. Over the crowd. Goo, la, gun, ga, ga. to see if you're really moving your mouth. You need to exercise the muscles. Next. Ku, ka, mangu, ka. Ku, ka, mangu, ka. Ku, ka, mangu, ka. Last two, exaggerate. Gangla, gangla, gangla. Last one. Kukla, kukla. In front of you. Kukla. Remember that Parkinson's wants to make all the movements small. Imagine if you exercise and you lift weights and you go like this. Small movements. Nothing's going to happen, right? Same with your speech. All the muscles you're using to speak with, expanding your lungs, moving the vocal folds, moving the mouth. You've got to exaggerate it. Okay, take a sip of water. We're moving on to the bonus round of reading. For those of you that want to stay on, we're going to learn some more benefits to singing, and I hope you will all sign up to sing in our virtual choir. Katie will post the link. All right, here we go. This is more challenging, this reading, because the sentences are much longer than just saying, hello, how are you? The words in red, I really want you to exaggerate them. If you tend to stutter, if your speech tends to rush, when you have this in a different color and you exaggerate the last word, it helps to bring everything together so that you don't keep reading on in this really fast rate. Here we go. Excuse me. More benefits to singing. Say it again. More benefits to singing. Number 6. Singing develops a sense of belonging and connection. Say it again. Number 6. Number 6. Singing develops a sense of belonging and connection. Let me ask you, are the words going in front of you? Try it again. Number 6. Singing develops a sense of belonging and connection. When you sing together with others, you're likely to feel the same kind of camaraderie and bonding that players on sports teams experience. I want you to start with that players. Ready? That players on sports teams experience. In one 2014 study involving 11,258 school children, researchers found that children in a singing and musical engagement program developed a strong sense of community and social inclusion. That was a mouthful. Now this is the key. If you want your conversational speech to get better, and I'm not just talking about, hi honey, how are you? I'm talking about being able to give directions, tell a joke, describe something. You've got to work on the reading. Every single word with intent. Let's go ahead and say 11,258. Say that over the crowd. Ready? 11,258. Over the crowd again. 11,258. This is really hard. Now read the whole sentence starting with N. Ready? I'll slow it down a little bit. In one 2014 study involving 11,258 school children, Researchers found that children in a singing and musical engagement program developed a strong sense of community and social inclusion. I want you to start with program and project the words forward. Program developed a strong sense of community and social inclusion. Well, our time is up for today, so we're going to continue that tomorrow. Katie will post this reading, both the phrases and these benefits to singing, in our chat feature on our website, parkinsonvoiceproject.org. I encourage you to download this reading material. Take what you've learned in these sessions and then practice at home. Reading, the ability to speak out, to exaggerate while you're reading, is the key to being able to speak with intent in conversation. Have a wonderful day. I will be back tomorrow. Speak with intent, walk with intent, pick up your glass and your fork with intent. Basically do everything with intent. Bye-bye.